We have decided to stop hiding and instead join together to build a better future for us all. In the misty mountains and dark forests, where a dense foliage of encryption protects our clans from the all-seeing eye, we build politics and technology to preserve our freedom. We hope you will join us. Information is power. Privacy and transparency are two diametrically opposed aspects of information. Transparency is being enforced upon people at large. It strips them of their agency as free human beings and paralyzes society through assimilation and cancel culture. Meanwhile, the machinery of state and corporate power is opaque and answerable to no one. The ever-increasing onslaught of regulation, surveillance, and persecution is forcing the hands of those of us who believe in freedom, and that privacy is a basic human right. We have decided to stop hiding and instead build a decentralized autonomous organization, a DAO, to preserve online privacy and stop tyrannical government and corporate interference in our private lives. More and more people are waking up to the fact that online privacy is essential for our freedom and liberty. In January 2023, 52 heads of state met at Davos, Switzerland with the World Economic Forum, a group of unelected officials. There, they discussed their dystopian plan called the Great Reset.
It is called the Great Reset.
An unprecedented opportunity to rethink and reset the ways in which we live.
The great opportunity for reset.
The theory even calls Mr. Biden's campaign slogan, "Build Back Better," a front for the conspiracy.
Build back better.
Building back better our economy.
Build back better.
All elements of the Great Reset are fundamental to building the future we need.
This pandemic has provided an opportunity for a reset.
It's a big effort to, some would say, to build back better. We would say to really have a great reset.
This plan is already in the works, and when finalized, it will alter every aspect of our lives. The Great Reset will take away our freedom, privacy, and liberties. It suggests that a single totalitarian government controls all resources and oversees and imposes control over everyone's private lives. Cash will disappear and be made illegal, and money in the form we currently know it will be made obsolete. Digital identities combined with CBDCs will take the place of money and create a system where we are constantly tracked and monitored, reducing our rights and freedoms further than ever before. The data collected from such a system will be used by governments or corporations for their own gain, leaving ordinary people with no control over their own finances and lives.
All our analysis on CBDC, in particular for the use of general use, we tend to establish the equivalence with cash, and there is a huge difference there. For example, in cash, we don't know, for example, who's using a $100 bill today. We don't know who is using a 1,000 peso bill today. A key difference with the CBDC is that central bank will have absolute control on the rules and regulations that will determine the use of that expression of central bank liability. And also, we will have the technology to enforce that. Those two issues are extremely important, and that makes a huge difference with respect to what cash is.
If we wish to preserve a sense of freedom for ourselves and our children, we must not let this happen. That is why a small group of experienced cypherpunks, encryption experts, and software developers have joined together with freedom-loving investors to build a global community that will finance and develop the tools needed to fight back and preserve our liberty and privacy. The returns of our investments will likely be enormous, not just financially, but also with the knowledge that we are leading the way to preserve freedom and privacy for our children. Decades ago, cypherpunks foresaw the rise of censorship and surveillance. They understood that cryptography and economic sovereignty were necessary to ensure freedom. Bitcoin made it possible for people to regain control over their lives by creating a parallel system that wasn't controlled by governments and big banks. Today, Bitcoin is no longer enough. Crypto's resistance to capture makes it a target, and so the surveillance state is on the attack. It has already started to make our software and even encryption in general illegal. We are forced to self-regulate to survive. Over the years, the voices upholding the cypherpunk mission have become fewer and quieter, drowned out by a flood of easy money and speculation. The advocates of crypto's liberatory mission lack both unity and strategy. LunarDAO changes all this and provides the strategy we need to succeed, both financially and strategically. The fight for online privacy has never been more important since governments around the world continue to pass legislation that removes our right to control our own lives. We can no longer afford to ignore the importance of protecting our online and financial activities from corporate and government surveillance. There are no institutions in this world that safeguard freedom. Those that try are being denounced as criminals, marginalized, and eventually crushed. The existing establishment and the small ruling elite that controls the world are only interested in maintaining and intensifying our enslavement. We, the people, must create new parallel worlds to live a free life. This is why we have formed the LunarDAO. We make our home in the moonlit forests of encryption, outside the reach of the state. We refuse to leave our protection in the hands of governments and big tech. We consider self-defense to be everyone's responsibility. Our mission is to both educate and empower everyone who desires freedom and privacy with the most powerful and sophisticated tools in the world. LunarDAO invests in privacy projects and anonymity-oriented tools for our members and society at large. By prioritizing technical excellence, practicality, and an uncompromising philosophy of freedom, our DAO creates value by building a self-sustaining anti-fragile ecosystem. We believe that freedom is not a distant dream. It is available to anyone who is ready to make a choice, to let nation-states and small ruling elites control our lives, or to join the fight for freedom.
I'm thinking there's a deep connection between money as an instrument of change and what you're doing now at Social Capital.
Look, here's the thing. There's about 150 people that run the world. Anybody who wants to go into politics, they're all fucking puppets, okay? There are 150, and they're all men, that run the world, period, full stop. They control most of the important assets. They control the money flows. And these are not the tech entrepreneurs. Now, they are going to get rolled over the next 5 to 10 years by the people that are really underneath pulling the strings. And when you get behind the curtain and see how that world works, what you realize is it is unfairly set up for them and their progeny.
Anyone can join LunarDAO, start a new investment project, or take part in an existing one. When you join us, we will teach you how to use free software and privacy tools, extend the reach of infrastructure, exit big tech and the surveillance state, maybe even learn programming, study economics, and build the new parallel economy if you want to take part. If the tools we need to preserve our freedom don't yet exist, we will fund them and help build them. If they exist, we will support them, improve them, and help get them into the hands of every freedom-loving human being on Earth. Rulers maintain authority by keeping people isolated. When we are alone, we are afraid. Alone, we cannot build the strength to change our realities. That is why we Lunarpunks have grown dissatisfied with the modern illusions of individual autonomy. We must work together to form squads, clans, and communities, and fight for collective liberation. We hope that you will join us in this fight for freedom. It may be the most important fight of our lives. Come and visit us at LunarDAO.net. There you will find links to our manifesto, white paper, and social media links. If you're interested in joining us but want to learn more, come and say hello in our Telegram group or on Twitter. We are a friendly bunch. Some despair at the darkness of the world we live in. We see it as an opportunity. The gentle light of the moon reveals what has been hidden under the blazing gaze of the sun. Sunset has arrived. The moonlit night is coming. Don't be afraid. You are not alone, and the desert is not endless. The lush forest awaits you on the other side. We look forward to welcoming you.